It's about
A1. A1. Yeah. Truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands and welcome back to A1 Forever Sports, man. Be generational because it's always time to.
Whoa. You there? You there? Chris, you there? Man, this thing went bad, Chris. You there?
I'm about to say StreamYard ain't already tripping on us, is it, T Will?
Already tripping on us, brother.
It's all good. I'm gonna say I think if for some strange reason, like with StreamYard, if I just go off camera, it normally just makes the thing flow a little bit better. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna I don't have time for this today, StreamYard. We're here to talk serious business, and it's the Atlanta Hawks. And last night, the Atlanta Hawks took on the Boston Celtics, and things just didn't go right. Things didn't go well at all for the Atlanta Hawks as they lose big, first really big loss, since the Oklahoma City Thunder game. They lose 123-93. But before we get really into it, I got a guest on here, and I don't want to be rude. T. Will, let them know what it is, man. Let the people know what it do.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, Chris, glad to be with you this morning, man. And as always, doing the show again. My podcast, brother.
Yes,
I
sir.
can be found at For My ATL Sports One on YouTube. Also, One Time for the Fan. One Time for the Fan on Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesday night at 9. Sundays at Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesday night at 9 p.m. and Friday morning at 9 a.m. Also can be found at the number 4, My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. We typically broadcast content 7 p.m. Friday, typically right after the game on Sunday, and Monday mornings at 8 a.m. Glad to be with you, Chris.
Sure.
So we can talk some Hawks. That
Yes,
was,
sir.
I would say that was quite a game last night, but I'm lying. That was a beatdown.
Yeah.
That
Robert
was
Blackman in the chat. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Robert. Yeah, definitely a beatdown though, brother. Like you was just saying though. Their biggest lead in the game was 37 at one point in time. 37 points. And it's like, golly, but T Will, we got to get into it. Like, we have to talk about, we're gonna talk about a few things, but we have to talk about just the unlucky Hawks situation. Like, it's just every year it seems like we're going through something, but this year it just seems like a domino effect of bodies just going down. Like,
uh,
it's crazy. I've never seen anything uh I've never seen anything so crazy in my life, saying to where a team can come in with aspirations, even if they're not championship, just at least playoff aspirations. Because my thing is, it's stepping stones, and saying everything has levels. So right now, for most Hawks fans coming into the season, it was a optimistic feeling. You got Dyson Daniels, a defensive piece, and he can do some things on offense. You bring in Larry Nance, got off the DeJounte Murray. You just want to see how it works with Trey being at the helm again, and it being pretty much Trey Young's team.
yep.
And optimistic again, but then next thing you know, bro, I mean, we started off before the season starts. Kobe Buffkin, he has an injury, with his shoulder, and even though he's putting up shots now, he's still not ready to come back. So you start off with that. Then after the first game of the season, you lose Bogey. Next thing you know, you lose Hunter. Next thing you know, you lose Veet. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, my goodness, like, just it's game after game, we've lost somebody.
Yeah.
you know, Game after game. And then even last night, just coming all the way up to the forefront of it, now you are going to be without Trey Young possibly. Trey Young last night went out with a right rib strain, is what they're calling it. And the right rib strain timetable is anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of weeks, leading into into a month. If the Hawks are without Trey Young, They're without the driving force, without the superstar of the team, regardless of how people feel about it. And T Will, how can you see how the Hawks, staying afloat if they have if they're missing, some starters, significant role players, and going with this tough stretch. We just played Boston. We have the Knicks coming up. Detroit, they just took care of business against the Lakers, and just like even Robert Blackman just said here, and I'll pull it up here. Right now, the Spurs are smiling, absolutely so, because right now the Hawks are down bad, y'all. But T. Will, please, um, let me know how you feel about that, man.
Well, it's quite simple. This is going to be a good season. You know,
Mm, mm, mm.
that's it's bottom line, and I hate to rain on anyone's parade so soon in this Hawks season, but I mean, look it. We already didn't have a lot of depth. Okay, if all pieces of this team are healthy, maybe we have a shot to get in as a seventh or an eighth seed. All things going together, the team gelling quickly, things working in our favor, maybe. But as currently constructed, with all of the injuries that we have, we're done. Like there's a saying that
Mm,
says it's it it's really a baseball saying, but it also applies in basketball. You can't win the division in April, but you can lose it. And it's the same thing here.
mhm.
You can't win the division in November, but you can lose it. Or December at least. By mid-December,
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
have most pieces back by mid-December. We could be 12, 13, 14 games under 500. And that's just
Real.
what it is. So
Right.
Boogie, we need you to heal up real quick. Dre, we need you to heal up. Trey, we need you to I don't know if you can get that rib shot up, but hey, whatever. We got a guest. We got Mr.
Yeah,
Jack.
I was just about to say, man, we got a guest in here, man.
Oh, I
Got
thought we were
Jack
talking
Spade
Falcons.
joining
I
in,
thought we
man.
were talking Falcons. Then I hear Hawks. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, the Hawks can do
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing the
man. We're
Falcons need to
talking
do.
Hawks this morning, man.
Outrun the South. That's what the Hawks need to do. Outrun the South. Then to get
This
Raheem
man.
Morris. Then to get Raheem Morris or his brother or somebody in the Morris family to go help them Hawks. Because I tell you right now, man, I was gonna go to that game last night. I'm glad I didn't go to that game last night. Boy, what
It's
was
so
that?
funny because I was gonna go too, man. I
Let
was.
me
I
tell you something,
was
man.
gonna try to. I looked at the tickets and I was like, man, you know what? I got a few things I need to take care of. I said, man, I'll catch the next one. The
You
next
can
thing
do
you
that with
know,
the Hawks. It's 80 something games. You can do that. With the Falcons, it's like, no, I have to be there. There's only
I
two
have
more
to
home
be there.
games left.
Yeah, but
But
the
no,
crazy
for
thing
real.
about that is, Jack, is right now these home games right now setting up to not possibly look like anything because the only thing that you have running out there could possibly be JJ, Ricochet, Dyson Daniels. And
Yeah,
even though Keaton Wallace, shout out to Keaton Wallace because he has been playing quality minutes,
yeah,
and this is his first year, even getting NBA minutes. It's his NBA debut, pretty much.
yeah.
But
Even
regardless,
earlier, my
I
boy
mean,
Double O looking like an all-star already, man. My boy Double O was balling.
see, man, Double O, I need more consistency from though.
Yeah,
Because if he's gonna be my starting big man, I need more consistency out of Double O. He had 18 and 10 last night, which is great. But you gotta think about it. A game or two ago, he only had like 2.6 rebounds, and we can't have those type of games. Like,
yeah.
fellas, the thing about it is, it started off as a heavyweight fight between the Celtics and the Hawks, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Then that second quarter was not favorable for the Hawks because if you dive into it, the Hawks were tied for points in the paint. They were right there. They actually won the second chance points 10-8. But the thing that kept blowing up the Hawks and punching them in the mouth last night was those fast break points.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out in transition, getting back on defense in transition. And Boston was able to take care of business 35-4 in
Mm-hmm.
fast break points. You're not
Yeah,
beating anybody like that, let alone the champs. Then you can't take breaks with Boston. There's
yeah,
no way you can take breaks with Boston, and you have to rebound. Hawks lost the rebounding battle 50-43. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They lost the assist battle, the steals battle, the blocks battle, the turnover battle. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Like,
forget they lost the
and
game
of
too.
course, they
Damn
shot
close to the
19% from three. You're not beating any team, let alone the defending NBA champs who you can never take a break on. You have
yeah.
to play up on them all times. There can never be a rest. You have to get back on transition. You have to talk and communicate, guys. This is basketball.
Especially with young
You
players.
know, it's
Got to.
basketball. And then I know some people like, man, you're not a professional.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Boston's a championship team, man. You saw it last night. I mean, you saw what Boston did last season, even the year before that. Boston, they've been dominating the East for a while now. And even when we played them back, when we had Horford in those years, they were still dominating the East. But we have to find a way to get better, man. We have a lot of young players on our team, and I kind of relate this over to the Falcons too as well. Back, we went to the Super Bowl that year. A lot of those young players had to step up in major roles to help some of the even the veteran players. And
Yeah.
you can kind of see last night that you have a young team. But Boston, like you mentioned, they won. That's championship pedigree.
Right.
So they didn't play no slouch. They didn't play a team that wasn't going to come in there and not expect to win. I mean, Boston usually goes into games saying, shit, we finna go beat these teams like 10, 20 points. I didn't expect a margin that big last night from the Hawks. I thought at least the Hawks were going to compete a little bit better. But when I saw it was like, I think it was like 70 to like 98 or 100 something. I was like, bro,
Yeah,
like not
yeah, that was the third quarter. That was
not these
third quarter. But
they
we had
shut
already
down.
been slaughtered in the second quarter. That's where it was at, man. I got matter of fact, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you
Listen
exactly
to the
what it
report.
was right
I listened to the
now.
report and Steve Holmgren's like Hawks down 30, and I'm like, down 30?
Yeah.
Like what? Like, are you serious? But
Bro,
I did want one
Boston
thing.
shot Boston shot 54%. They were 13 for 24 in the second quarter. And the
Mm,
Hawks, they were 10 for 25 at 40%. But it was just more efficiency from
mhm,
Boston. And then you went into the third quarter and you also have, it was a little bit better. It was 12 for 27 and the Hawks were 9 for 22. So it wasn't like necessarily terrible. It was just the shot making abilities of Boston, man.
mhm.
Boston, they Boston is a team that gets off the bus shooting threes.
Yeah,
They get off the bus shooting them. So you
And
have
yeah,
to be on point.
yeah. That's kind of like how Golden State used to be, and now you have a team like Dallas that's doing the same thing. They getting off the bus just ripping up threes.
That's what
But the
I'm
Hawks just
saying.
had
And
to find an
you
identity,
gotta
man.
be on top of that. You
Yeah,
gotta be
and
on
what?
top. Boston hit. Hold on, I'm about to tell you that too.
Yeah,
Boston hit, and
please
this
do.
is in
they did
yeah,
not miss.
Boston hit 18. They put up 55 threes. They hit 18. That's only 32%, right?
Mhm.
But the Hawks, 6 for 31,
Mm.
19% from three. So my thing is like Boston wasn't even world beating from the 3-point line, but guess what? We're still having the same problems, regardless of who's out there. We're still having the same problems on defense that I'm seeing as far as giving up threes. We give up a lot of threes. We averaged giving up over 15 threes a game last year, 14, 15 threes last year. We've been
Mhm.
giving up over 15 threes a game like this year.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You can't do that. Everyone has to be all in. It has to be switching. My thing is everybody has on this panel has played basketball before. We
Mhm.
already know you gotta talk, you gotta switch. Hey, pick up my man, I'll get yours until we're able to switch back.
Mhm.
That comes from the coaching staff as well. I'm not jumping on Quinn about Quinn Snyder and the job that he's doing is because he has to work with what he has to work with, and he doesn't have a lot to work with. He hasn't had his starting unit at fully. He hasn't had his full capacity of this roster. So I'm not jumping on him about that. My thing is like have these guys communicating every single possession. Stop with the overhelping. Stay with your man. Like switch, talk. It shouldn't be open threes at all because that's the kind of effort you're going to have to play with. You're already behind the eight ball, so something has to go up. And I believe it's effort, guys. What do you guys think?
I definitely agree with you, man. Even going off of effort, you can see what's going on across the street with them birds. And I honestly came in here to talk Falcons because I'm super ready to go talk Falcons. But I love my Hawks too as
And we,
well.
hey man, we still can today, man. We still can
No, we
today.
definitely can. I'd love to do that. But the Hawks just have to just show more on effort. I go back to the preseason game, even when we beat Indiana by the 2 points
Right.
at the end of the game, and it's like, bro, we're giving up 120 something points in preseason. Like, where's the defense? Like, what I'm saying? You saw that from the Hawks recently. Like, you can score and put up points, but you have to play defense in this game. I mean, NBA players get called out so many times for being some of the best offensive players, but defensive, they're just like, they're couch potatoes. Like, they're just gonna stand back and let them do what they got to do. And last night, you saw that Boston just took advantage of us, man. But we have the Knicks coming up. I don't never count down. I
Mhm.
don't never count out these Hawks because I'm a Hawks fan. But I just need to see
Right.
more from this team. And I haven't seen it over the past couple of seasons, man. I just want to see a complete wins, dominant wins, 5, 6, 7 game winning streaks. I don't need to see, oh, you beat Charlotte here, but then you go lose to the Kings by 30 or 20 the next day. It's like, this is unacceptable. But
Hmm.
the team still they have a lot of young players, and if they
Right.
develop correctly, and if they listen to their communication, they listen to their coaches, they should be good going forward. But I mean, the schedule, it is like football too. Any Tuesday, any Monday, any Friday, any Saturday, you can win a game in NBA. So the Hawks just have to play up to their ability of what they believe they can be. I think right now they're just not doing that though. But I like Ricochet, man. He's doing well. You know, people's kind of half like 50-50 with Trey, but I mean Trey is a leader of this team. You know what I'm saying? So you really can't,
Indeed.
yeah, you really can't be upset about who we drafted or so forth. I mean, I think he can lead this team in the right direction. Just needs a couple more pieces to
Hmm.
help out, especially coming off the bench. But I do like that. It's still the beginning of the season. We're not talking about these Hawks at the end of the season, like they can't make the playoffs. There's a possibility for a run somewhere here. It's only what, November? We got
It's
December,
November. It's
March,
yeah, it's
April, May.
November.
We got some game. We got some months away to still keep this going. So,
Right.
um, yeah, y'all doing great with the podcast and everything. Just came to say what's up, man. Terry, man, you're doing a great job over there. A1, I saw you
Oh
the
yeah.
other day, man, at the
Yeah.
Falcons Cowboys game. So,
Yeah,
uh,
man.
big shout out to you, man, with your platform, everything you guys got going on. A1 will definitely get you back over there on one time. But did you know that
Oh yeah.
the Falcons can go 4-4 the rest of the way, and they are good. You know that the Falcons can go four
Hmm.
and four the rest of the way, and they are good. Terry,
Yeah.
A1, I smell play. You smell that?
I'm
I,
gonna say,
I, I
hold on,
I
wait.
smell.
Don't you say it, Jet. Hold on, wait.
Hold on, I'm talking
Hold on.
Falcons here, not Hawks. Hold on.
Yeah,
I smell
I
playoffs.
know. Hold on,
I smell
wait.
playoffs, man.
Wait. You said he said the P word.
I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so good. I know A1. I know y'all gonna bring the heat when it comes to talking Falcons. Y'all do the same thing talking Hawks, and then when the Braves get kicked back up again, y'all gonna do the same
Oh
thing
yeah.
there. Keep going with your platforms on your podcast. Your content is great, both of you. Terry, we talk all the time. A1, man, we've been rocking since day one, man. Since the first day we did this podcast thing, man. So
Yes,
continue
sir.
doing what you do. Y'all shows are great. Tell the world about it. And Bucks lost last night, so
Yeah,
Bucks
they
Falcons,
lost last night,
Falcons
bye.
outrunning the South, baby. Falcons are really outrunning the South right now, baby. So let's get it,
Falcons
man.
the only team over 500 in the NFC South, bye.
love it. Hey, question for you.
Yes, sir.
If we do nothing at the trade deadline today, which is at 4 p.m., it is currently
Today or tomorrow? Today.
10:16. No, it's
It's
today.
today.
Yes, sir.
It's
Today.
today, my friend.
If
4
we do
p.m. today.
right, the Giants have already traded for Zadarius Smith. If we do nothing, how are you feeling about this Falcons team?
I feel like they believe that what happened Sunday can happen again and play a major role. You hear what Jimmy Lake said about moving around that some of those pieces right there on their front line and keeping a heavy rotation in. I mean, it did help out. I mean, but you played a guy that you kind of knew you were going to get sacks on. When we played Carolina, we played Andy Dalton. We kind of figured you can get sacks. You're supposed to go into every game hoping you can get a sack or two. But then there's some quarterbacks who look at and say, "Oh, we should be able to get this guy on the ground because he's been known to be on the ground." Right? So Dak, I kind of figured he was going to get 2 or 3 sacks against Dak. Only problem is, you did it at the last game before the trade deadline. If you'd have did this last week, against the Bucks, and then did it again this week. All right, cool. No need to trade for a pass rusher. I think Jimmy Lake got this under control. But now it's like, okay, you get a 3-sack Sunday. That's cool, but are the Falcon fans satisfied with that? Can you go and beat the Saints Sunday and get 0 sacks and the fans won't talk about it? But you know they will. I think you do have to look at the potential trade of Aziz. You saw guys getting traded for, 5th rounds here and 6th rounds here. I mean, the dude Zacharias Smith got traded for 3 picks this morning. Was it 3?
No,
He went,
2. It was like a 2025 5th rounder and 6th rounder, but they get Zadarius Smith and a 2026 7th rounder back.
okay. So in a trade like that with Aziz, I mean, Raheem said it. You're always looking at ways to get better, and this is something for the Hawks too as well. You got to find ways to get better. And if you have to make a potential trade before 4 p.m. today, I just don't want to touch the guys that's really on this roster that have been proving that they can make it. Like you have your Zoe Carters, who I think fans are looking like, yo, it's about time for him to go, and it's
Yeah,
probably
he
one
can
or two other
ride.
players. Yeah, it's a tough situation, but for me, I would love to go get a pass rusher today. If they don't go get it, I still trust in the team. It doesn't make me any different as a fan if you don't go get a pass rusher. But I'm gonna
Right.
hope that you guys understand in that locker room and in that coaches meeting that whatever happened on Sunday can happen again without Aziz. It can happen again without Harold Landry. It can happen again without a big name pass rusher. And if they believe in that, then they can go get the job done. If they don't believe in that, then hey, go get Aziz, trade him for a 6th or a 7th. But if you give up a 2nd round pick today for a no name, it's like where
Yeah,
did
I
this come
wouldn't do that.
you, Terry's been very smart though. Your second cousin, neighbors, brothers, uncles, neighbor Terry, he's been very smart with making trades and knowing how to put these players in the right position. If you get Aziz, you're gonna get a guy that's gonna go in there Sunday and give the Saints hell on the other side of Matthew Judon. Am I all for it? Yes. If they don't go get a guy, I'm still all for it. Don't forget, we can go 4-4 and we reach in the playoffs, baby. We
Oh,
talking playoffs in November. I told every one
Mm.
of you. I
but
told
Hey,
everybody who
I
watched this.
told folks though. I
I
told
told
folks we were
people.
gonna lock it up early.
And I
I
talked to my
like
rep on
I
Sunday.
was I was on my 12-5 ish, and I'm still on my 12-5 ish.
I talked to my rep Sunday. Big shout out to my rep Morgan. I talked to him Sunday. He told me
Mm.
those playoff emails. They getting ready. They're getting
They
ready for
getting
the
ready for the playoff
they're getting ready
emails.
for the
Ain't that
playoff.
something?
In November, they have to start creating playoff emails. You got to start locking in your tickets for the playoffs in probably a matter of 30 days. We're going to talk about it one time
Oh,
for
happy
Terry. I'm super busy,
day.
man. Last night I came home and I crashed, man. I'm just from work to work. I'm about to go vote right now. Mine was stupid crazy around the corner from me. So
Right.
I'm about to go back and try to see if I can vote again, or get in line because I wasn't prepared for that. I was prepared to do the
Mhm.
old school way. Walk in, thank you, thank you,
Walk
thank you,
in,
and
walk
walk
right
out.
back out.
I
Yep,
walked in,
I
I
know
saw them
exactly
cars.
what
I
you're
said,
talking
"No, I'm
about.
going back to the house. I'll see y'all in a little bit."
yeah.
But I'm gonna head back over there, check that out, and head to work. I'm there all day. But I'm in New Orleans Thursday, baby. The parade is Saturday
Hmm.
at 2, baby. You better line up on Canal and Bourbon. Oh, we got them fires. We got them fire. Well, we had the fire Dennis Allen signs. Now we go back and change it and put we got the Riz. Apparently, the new head coach name is named the Riz. So we're gonna come down there and Riz up the fans real
Yeah,
quick.
that's right.
Um, but y'all be great. Y'all stay safe. A1 T will keep pushing this content. Falcon fans love this. Hawks fans love this. 10 o'clock in the morning, y'all are talking basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
it shows a passion for not only your podcast, it shows a passion for the sport, for the game, for journalism, for content creating. And you guys have it. You guys have it, man. So blessings to you all.
Yes,
Much
sir.
love. And look, man, go Falcons.
Falcons, man. Love it, brother.
I got my
Love it.
Hawks gear
Thank you
over here
for
too,
pulling
though,
up,
but
man.
I got my Hawks gear over here too as well, but I'm in playoff mode right now, baby. The Hawks got
Yeah,
to
man. Hey,
50
hey.
something games.
Put
They're
the
good.
hat on.
Yeah, baby.
Hat on, Jack. You see
Yeah,
that?
yeah, man. I
I mean,
see
the
y'all.
Hawks.
I was the only one that had Hawks gear on today. It was
Hey,
just me.
my boy A1. Hey, look. In
Got my Hawks
February,
gear
in
on.
March, we can talk Hawks. In
All
April, we
right,
can
all
talk
right.
Hawks.
No problem.
But
No
right
problem.
now, we getting ready for the playoffs. I love
Love it,
it.
man.
I love
We
it.
deserve it. We
We
deserve
deserve it.
it.
Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay great, man. Love y'all.
All right.
Yes,
Love you,
sir.
Jack. We'll see you, brother.
That was Jack, man. One time from the fan, Jack Spade. Man, I gotta holler at Jack about a few things about this Rise Up tour anyway, man, for real. Definitely it's 40 days away from the Vegas trip, man. So I gotta holler at them. But yeah, man. And real quick, the Cowboys traded for the Panthers wide receiver Jonathan Mingo. But whatever.
I
Uh,
don't I don't I don't know why, but okay.
whatever. Do what your thing. Do your thing, Jerry. Do your thing. You out there doing your thing, boy. So keep doing it. But yeah, back to this Hawks talk real quick, man. I will say this: the last two games, I do like what I'm seeing from Jalen Johnson. He definitely was more efficient on Sunday than it is Monday, and I want to make it obvious and clear that the Hawks play coming off a back to back. They come off of a win, and then they got the champs. Sitting at home the very next night, so it was already an uphill battle anyway. And how this schedule is with all these 1 day in between, just like Quinn said, the guys are kind of beat up right now. They're kind of worn down. We've played a lot of basketball to start the season, what I'm saying? And we got back to backs. We only having 1 day in between for rest, just like today. We're resting today, and then we're playing against the Knicks on Wednesday. Then you got a rest day on Thursday. Then you're playing again on Friday. So it's just like it's a lot that the Hawks are facing. I'm not sitting here going to make any excuses for the Atlanta Hawks because we already know the injuries just piling up on these guys. We already know that. So I'm not going to just, keep making excuses because teams go through injuries. Everybody go through different things. But I think it's going to be very important to see how Quinn can navigate this team moving forward, T Will. I really
I,
believe that it's going to be important just because you may not have any bodies like, okay, Ricochet, Johnson, Capella, Daniels, Roddy, Okonwu, Matthews, Wallace, Moji, Larry Nance Jr., Barlow. And that's right now, what I'm saying, the guys who you have on the team. Notice the guys that I didn't mention, the Trey Young, DeAndre Hunter, Bogdan Bogdanovich, what I'm saying, Vit Krejci, Kobe Buffkin. Like, my gosh. You know what I'm saying? Like
all your
that's tough.
all of your scoring. So yeah, we're gonna get ready to watch the Hawks score 70 points. And I'm just saying, we're done, man. I don't.
Hold on, man. You got to keep the hope alive, though, somewhere. But no, I understand, though, T. Will. I get it. I mean,
I,
just being real, it's hard to really see how the Hawks are able to stay afloat through all these injuries. It's really hard. I know we got to be optimistic, and you got to go out there and play the game because my thing is we've seen teams come in on the Hawks with no names, guys we ain't even never heard of before. Just like Malachi Flynn last year when he went off of 50 something points, and I'm like,
yeah,
who is this guy? You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like who is he? And I think he ended up getting an extra contract or something like that. And I believe it was behind that game. But
Mm,
you have stuff like that. Basically, what I'm saying is you have no names come in and ball on the Hawks. We need to start having some of our guys do it to other teams then. I'm just saying we're playing basketball. Guys who I feel like are good pieces that you need to start, evaluating and probably giving more minutes. I would say Garrison Matthews. Garrison Matthews, aka some people call him Gary Bird. I'm not gonna go that far because Larry Bird is a
all
legend, man, and
that.
Hall of Famer. I don't
Uh,
I don't want to. I love Garrison Matthews, but I can't give him the Gary Bird thing. I just can't do that. But and that's no disrespect to anybody. I just can't do that.
no, I mean,
Okay,
you
yeah,
got 2 MVPs before you could. Like Bird was the man. People don't understand.
yeah,
Bird was. I mean, Bird. Look, I mean, Bird is one of the greatest. So I
yeah.
mean, oh no, I mean that's no, you can't just throw that around there like, oh,
Nah,
that's probably done by somebody who's young and doesn't know any better. I guarantee
yeah,
you,
yeah.
nobody in my age group would do that. That's somebody very young who just threw it out there and didn't really give it and didn't know any better because that's like I don't know. That's like comparing the number two guard we have to Michael Jordan. Like, I mean, you could do it, but it's not even close. He hasn't even
I was
come
about to
close.
say, why would you?
To be compared to Bird or Michael Jordan, you need a couple of MVPs. Like you need to do this for 2, 3 years in a row, and then it's still a stretch because these guys did it for their entire career. So whatever, man.
Right.
But if you don't know, you don't know, and clearly whoever crafted that didn't know. But look, it man, I don't. It's unfortunate. I try to be honest. I try to be positive, but in this
Right.
case. I just don't see that we have the depth to weather this. I mean, who's our starting guard with Trey out? I mean, what
Bro, it's
he?
gonna be Keaton Wallace. Keaton Wallace is gonna be our starting point guard. And my thing is, he's played quality minutes, but at the end of the year, this is still his first year in the NBA.
Yeah,
So it's going to be ups and downs. I mean, he went 2 for 5 last night. He missed the only 3-point attempt that he took. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He did have 4 steals. He did have 4 steals. 2 turnovers, 6 points. And if you care about the plus and minus, he was -4. The Hawks only had the Hawks only for the plus and minus people. The Hawks only had 3 players that was in the plus: Barlow, Moji, and David Roddy at +3, +3, and +4. Everyone else was in the negative. Everyone else.
yeah,
So, and JJ, he had a 20 and 10 game, 20 and 11 game. I remember before starting the season, I said JJ has that ability to do that. But Trey Young can't go 1 for 10 either. I understand he left the game early. He did still have about 6 assists, still got him a steal, had 3 turnovers, only 2 points. And I believe I believe also too, this also broke Trey Young's streak of having the double doubles. Saying of having at least 5 or more assists and having 10 or more points. That also snapped that streak. And
yeah,
that was like I believe one of the third longest streaks in the NBA. So that's another thing that happened as well. I'm
yeah,
trying to figure out now we're talking about the offense and we're talking about, saying who's going to be doing this on offense. I'm more worried about the defensive end. I'm worried about, saying, okay, you're going to have Dyson Daniels, but he can't guard everyone. Saying JJ is going to have to step up his defensive prowess. Risha Shea as well. And I know he's 19, so that's tough to ask him to say, hey, man, know what guys are going to do. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. And I understand your concern, T. Will. I do. I'm still going to remain, optimistic because, I still got to see the games. I'm not going to just bash the team. I'm not saying that you are either, but so I'm just saying I gotta remain optimistic because you got to get out there on the floor. And as a guy that still plays basketball, even though it's not professionally, I still hoop. And my thing is being out there on the court is certain things that I see from an effort standpoint to where I gotta ask Quinn, like what are you telling the guys? Because it's stuff that's on the court that I couldn't get away with playing pickup ball. I wouldn't be able to get away with, not switching, not talking, not, trying to guard multiple positions, to help guys out. Now, like I would get in trouble for over helping. I would get in trouble for not staying with my man, over helping. The next thing you know, somebody gets a wide open shot.
hmm
So it's just like on the defensive end, that's my only gripe, regardless with the Atlanta Hawks, because no matter who's out there on the court, I find, a lack of effort somewhere. It's not all maximum effort. And last night you can tell it was the team was getting deflated because they just seen 3-point shots going down. It's only one way to stop that though. You got to play up. You're going to have to play up. They're not going to make everything. They're going to shoot everything. But
hmm
but my thing is, I really just do not believe, even with the Boston Celtics, because they're going to have to show me um, that if you make every shot tough for a team, they're not going to score 120 tough points. I just don't believe that. And even down to Boston, and they were going, like I said, you have to make a believer out of me. So, and even if you do it, guess what? Next time I play you, you still gonna have to make a believer out of me. So, um, ultimately though, man, guys, I don't want to keep like ranting and everything like that, but it's tough. It's gonna be tough for these Atlanta Hawks this year, man. And starting out early like this, like T Will said, you can't win it now, but you can definitely lose it now. If we can't stay afloat, if we start going on losing streaks, we can be behind the eight ball very fast. Let's say by Christmas. By Christmas, the season, if the Hawks aren't able to generate wins somehow, some way, it's gonna be tough sledding, brother. Because I just want and before you go, T Will, I just want to put this in your brain. 4 weeks reevaluation for Bogey and Veet. You still
Oh,
have like a week. Yes, yes. Reevaluation, not coming back. Reevaluation. So you have reevaluation for those guys. I think Buffkin is in that list too. Then you have Dre with the knee management. He's going to be reevaluated soon here. You know, saying Trey Young, we don't know what can possibly be happening. We're hoping for the best news for Trey Young, which I'm pretty sure is going to come out sometime today. But my thing is, if he missed a significant amount of time, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like these guys are coming back next week. A lot of these guys that we're missing, we're not going to see 4 weeks. You know what I'm
right.
saying? We're not going to see them for weeks. So it's like, ah, God,
I,
it's tough.
sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off. I
No,
think
no,
it's
no. You good, brother? Go ahead.
a lot of these guys have not played together, right? A lot of these guys that
Mhm.
now have not played together. So when you talk about overhelping, when you talk about not getting where you need to be, it might not be laziness so much as it is infamiliar or unfamiliarity, right? Like if
Right.
you don't know the guy you're playing next to, you don't know his strengths, weaknesses. You play with guys
Hmm.
long enough, you kind of know, right? Like I've been doing podcasts
Right.
with you for damn near 6 months. I've been doing podcasts with Jack for damn near 9. I know you guys, so we have a chemistry that we've developed that we just know. You know what I mean?
Right.
You that
Right.
doesn't happen. Hey, I'm T Will. Hey, I'm Chris. Oh, we're playing basketball. You need time together, right? So
Right.
there
You got to
anyway,
have that time together. They don't know
right,
how to win together yet. You know what I'm saying?
correct,
They're a young team. They're still trying to learn how to win. And it's
correct.
hard, bro,
They don't know how
because
to
we
win
have
in NBA
injuries.
period. They don't know how to win in the NBA period. Number one, they're very young. The gentleman that we have as our number one point guard is replacing essentially a Hawks legend. And it's just difficult. Now you can look at it two ways. You can look at it as well. Number one, we can really see what these rookies are about. We can really
Oh,
see, okay,
definitely.
when going forward, who's a keeper and who maybe do we need to package to go and get something else. That's one way of looking at it. You can look at it like Risa Shea, Daniels. They're all going to get quality minutes, so they're going to grow and develop, but growth does not happen overnight, and often growth is painful, or it would not be growth. And I say that to say, look it, the Hawks have the Knicks, the Pistons, the Bulls, the Celtics, the Wizards, the Trailblazers, the Kings, the Warriors, the Bulls, the Mavericks, and the Cavs in the next 10 games. I mean,
How
you can
many games? How many games are dubs out of that list, brother?
maybe two. If I'm being honest, the Knicks, that's a loss. The Pistons, that's a loss. The Bulls, maybe, not sure. The Celts, that's a loss. The Wizards, maybe. The Trailblazers,
Maybe.
maybe. The Kings, that's a loss. The Warriors, I'm gonna say loss. The Bulls, again, the Mavs are lost. The Cavs are so big. Those are two losses back
Cavs
to,
are undefeated right now, too. By the way.
yeah. So you're, again, best case scenario, you're probably 4-6. Worst case scenario, you're 0-10. You're already 3-5 now. You lose 10 in a row, you're what, 3-15? You
Yep.
really
To
you
start the
got
season,
you know what I
bro. I'm
mean?
gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. We go 3-15. Um, I love my Atlanta Hawks. I believe in my Atlanta Hawks, but do I believe that we will be able to dig ourselves out of a 3-15 hole with a fresh lineup and you just say, all right, guys, go get after it. We're 3-15, but we can battle back. Do I think that we can still salvage the season and possibly be a playoff team? Being realistic with what we have right now, guys still having, and all the things that we've said already about guys having to learn to play together, guys having to learn to win together, and all this stuff like that. It's going to be ups and downs. It's ups and downs for championship contenders. So it's going to be up and down for us as up and comers.
Right.
I don't see us salvaging that season, bro. If we're like I said, the season could be over for the Atlanta Hawks due to injuries by Christmas,
Yeah.
because you think about it, even with what you do have out there, the Boston Celtics was able to score 35 points off turnovers, 35 for the Hawks, 9. Now only thing that the Hawks really can hang their hat on is all season the bench has been productive. They had 46 bench points last night compared to 39 for Boston. It's the starters. They're not getting enough from the starters, and they're not getting enough overall offensively. And then, of course, the schedule is. I mean, I'm not going to make excuses about the schedule because I didn't make it. The schedule makers, they made it. And eventually, somewhere in that schedule, you're supposed to get some kind of relief because right now we're playing a lot of games, but it's just tough, brother. That's a lot of that. That's why getting wins against teams like Washington, you know what I'm saying? Finishing the best that you possibly can against teams like OKC, which honestly, if you remember, we were talking about OKC was a reality check.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get better. We need to be better, and we was talking about that then. And we're talking about it again here against Boston because the better teams are not going to play with you, even if you're staying in the game, even if you're better defensively to a degree. These still you're supposed to go out there and beat, lesser teams. And
Mm-hmm. Cut out, Chris. Well, okay. Well, we'll keep it going. My thing, Chris, is
on that
just
level, not yet.
Chris. You there? You cut out
Yeah,
for
I'm here.
about.
Oh, my bad, man. Stream, yo. I was just basically saying right now, after facing the Thunder and after facing Boston, right now we just don't have the roster to compete for a championship, which we already knew. It was just you kind of see the measuring stick when you kind of see the measuring stick. And I know people are going to say, well, the Hawks were in, saying both of those games to a certain point. Honestly, I believe the Hawks, with better effort, they possibly could have beat the Thunder. It's just that 13-0 run that when the Hawks took the lead 92-91, after that, it was just deflating, and the Hawks could not bounce back after it, no matter what. But and
Mm-hmm.
then tonight, I mean, excuse me, not tonight. And then against the Celtics, that second quarter, you just couldn't get anything going. They whooped over your head, and then the second quarter, they whooped on your head, took that lead into halftime. You never could recover from that. And by the time the fourth quarter hits, it's just like everybody's deflated. We're trying, but we can't knock down any shots. We're
Yeah.
not knocking down any shots.
Yeah, and that's human nature to be I mean, it was like you're down 30 points going into the fourth quarter. That's human.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
thing is, what do we learn as a team, right? What do we learn? So hopefully, if I'm Quinn Snyder, I'm just gonna we're gonna go. We're gonna look at the film today. We're gonna huddle and say, guys, this is the standard. We have to get better, and this is what we do.
right.
And Quinn right now is in a teaching mode because he doesn't have the roster to compete with
Don't.
with the injuries that we have. Look, if we go 500 these next 10 games, that's best case scenario. Best case scenario, you're worst case scenario is you lose all 10. Now, if you can go 500, then and hang on until you get some of these guys back, you may be okay. But we're gonna find out real quickly what we have. Again, I personally think we need to go out and sign another point guard.
Bro, we can't. Cody freaking Zeller is still on the team, taking up a roster spot with guaranteed money. Nobody wants to trade for him. Nobody wants Cody Zeller.
Mm,
and he's taking up a roster spot, and we can't sign anybody right now, bro.
mm. Then I don't know. Can we trade? But what
I'm
do we have to trade? Like
Who
I don't.
wants Cody Zeller?
Oh man, what
Who
do we
wants
have?
Cody Zeller and guaranteed money? He it gets that money no matter what. And and thing about it is, I'm not mad at Cody Zeller because if I'm getting guaranteed money, you're not buying me out either. No, I
Right.
want my whole check. So I'm not mad at Cody for that. What I'm mad is he's on the roster, taking up a roster spot, and we can't even go get anybody right now because of that. We
But
can't
we're
even add to the team because we got a guy who's sitting at home just like me and you, probably podcasting himself, drinking water and beers and everything, and getting paid.
like Micah Parsons.
Man, my thing is at least we know he's going to hit the field. We don't know if we're ever going to see Cody Zeller on the.
Oh man, this is just a convergence of circumstances.
Oh goodness.
Quite unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is, but you know what? We're gonna find out what we have. And again, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but just
Neither one of us are, bro. It's
looking at
just the fact.
what
Like
yeah, looking at
you
what
can
I saw.
only be so optimistic, bro. You can only be so optimistic. And my
Right.
thing is like again, we're gonna always have optimism about the Falcons. I mean, excuse me, about the Hawks. But it's
Hmm.
just hard to see it, bro. When you got that tough stretch coming ahead, you
Hmm.
have guys who are learning on the job. Everybody is learning on the job for the Atlanta Hawks. Even JJ. JJ, even though he's putting out a nice point total, getting rebounds, you can tell he's still getting comfortable in his role being the number two option.
Yeah.
You can still tell that. And you can tell that because what is he doing? Sometimes he's trying to get to the hole. He's traveling, walking, all this stuff like that. We're having turnovers.
Hmm.
We're seeing the Atlanta Hawks players have turnovers going off of just not being able to put the ball on the floor before you take a step.
Right. Right.
Simple
Right.
fundamental stuff. And
Right.
these guys are in the league.
Yeah.
So
It's like you say, it's unfortunate, but this Hawks team could lose 55, 60 games. Hopefully they won't.
sheesh.
Hopefully they won't. I mean, just with look at if you're talking about 4 weeks for Bogey and or Dre, if you're talking about Trey being out for another 2.5, 3 weeks, that's I mean, again, that's 10 games.
Veek got to get reevaluated. You know what I'm saying? You got Veek got to get reevaluated. Everybody except for Dre, I believe, is on the reevaluation list. Because
Yeah.
Dre, I think he's like day to day, week to week. They just trying to manage that knee. And Dre's knees, I can't even be mad at him. I'm mad at the organization when it comes to Dre's knees, and his knees only is what I'm talking about. Because let's
Yeah.
just be honest. In 2021, we rushed Dre back to play in that Knicks series. We rushed him back because we knew that he was our best defender, and we needed him against guys like Julius Randle.
Yeah.
So now you have this problem with his knees and everything that's going on. Him having to have to get a procedure here, get it drained there.
Hmm.
You know, that's something that he probably gonna be dealing with for the rest of his basketball career.
Probably. I mean,
So,
it's
so you
unfortunate.
know, yeah. So that's just another thing that you got going on because you don't think we could have used Bogey, Dyson Daniel. Excuse me, Bogey, Veek Krejci. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre Hunter. All those guys could have been used last night.
Hmm.
From a shooting standpoint and of course from a defensive standpoint. You could have had Dre and Dyson Daniels on the court together, uh running these guys off the 3-point line. Because that's what you got to do against Boston. Their only loss came against Indiana, a team that ran them off the 3-point line.
Hmm.
That's their only loss, but that's the only team that tried to do it. So I mean, in Indiana they have a nice roster as far as like guys who have length and ability to play defense and offense and everything like that. They're an offensive team anyway. So,
Hmm.
that's a nice, a nice matchup for them. But ultimately though, guys, bringing this back around to the Hawks again, it's going to be tough. I don't know exactly what we're going to expect from the Atlanta Hawks. Um, Really, all you can do is just pray and just hope that they're able to weather the storm. We gotta try to see if we're able to weather the storm for the Hawks, and it's gonna be tough. T. Will, it's gonna be tough. I'm
That's
I'm
that.
I'm keeping I'm keeping my optimism, but I can't even lie. I'm disappointed just because of all the injuries that we continue to face, and it's just like, man, our guys are falling apart. Our team is falling apart, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Like, what's going on with the like Joshua said earlier, what's going on with the training department? Like, man, but also, what are the players doing? Like, what are you putting in your body? How are you training? Like, it's like, and then, you have things like the schedule going against you too. You're not getting no rest. No, you have some teams that are getting 2 and 3 days off rest right now. And then,
Mm.
still go play another game. We don't have that. So our guys are getting worn down really fast, and just circumstances are just not in the Hawks' favor altogether.
I think again, all things being equal, maybe in the second part of the season, maybe we can kind of catch up, so to speak. Maybe we can get healthy, maybe we can get more days of rest, but right now it's difficult. It look, this best case scenario, this team was going to be seventh, eighth seed. Best case scenario. I mean, if you
Mhm.
played out of your mind, maybe sixth seed. But best case scenario, this team was going to be seventh, eighth seed. Again, maybe another play in. And that's with all parties being healthy. With what we have now, right? I mean, we got arguably, and no disrespect to the young man who's our point guard, but you got a G League point guard basically leading the team. That's your starter, right? He had
Mhm.
what, 2 assists? Trey normally gets what, 10, 12, 13, 15? Trey's normally going to give you 28 to 30. He gave you what? I mean, bro, you got the drop off, right? Look, Trey is critical to this team because he's the only one of his ilk on the staff. You don't have another Trey. You don't have a guy that can come in and get you 30 and get you 12, 13 assists a night. You just don't. Now, can this guy develop into that? Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, again, I don't take a pessimistic approach lightly. I'm not taking it lightly. I'm simply saying from what I've seen, um, the immediate future is just tough. From what I've seen, guys, we can't score when Trey's not on the floor. We've shown that. I mean, this year we can't score when Trey's not out there to distribute and set up. And can we develop that? Well, we're gonna get our shot. Now again, you know what? Everything I'm saying could be wrong. The Hawks could come out here, they could take a look at that loss, they could learn from it, they could get better from it. I mean, I guess a way of saying it is these guys are all young, and I don't want to call them no names, but they're young, so maybe they listen to Quinn. Maybe he can mold them easier because they are more pliable because it's not like they can resist, right? So I don't know. You know, two schools of thought here. If we're looking at two extremes, these Hawks can be molded and shaped and formed, and maybe by the time the vets come back, we have a very deep bench and a very good team. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is we're going to get killed. We're going to get killed and we're out of it before December. And maybe the truth, Chris, is somewhere in the middle that, maybe we learn a little, maybe we lose a little, maybe we get better. And collectively, maybe we can go 500 this year. I don't know. Again, I don't. It is so early in the season. I don't want to be completely pessimistic. I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but it's just with the present veterans that we have that are injured, there's a dearth of talent on this team, right? There's a clear drop off between Trey and anybody not named Trey from a point guard perspective. There's a clear drop off. So I don't know what we do to address that. I don't know if we have guys in the G League that can come up and do something. I don't know, but now's your opportunity. Quinn, you're gonna get your chance to see what you can do with minimal talent. You know, I shouldn't say minimal. That's not fair. With unproven talent. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. But anyway, Chris, just my thoughts. I mean, hey, you know what? We could come back here 10 games from now and go 10-0. Yeah, right. But you know, we could go 500. We could go 500 and look it. If we go 500 over the next 10 games, I'll be elated. I'll be elated. I will I look, I will be overjoyed if we could do that, because that would mean A, that we still have a chance, once we get our guys back, and B, that you and I were discussing, okay, well, what, Quinn's impact, if we can see this unit go 500 the next 10 games, then we can say, okay, Quinn is really having an impact on these young guys. I don't know, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
that's what we're hoping for, brother. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, Quinn is in a teaching moment, and let's see how much of a teacher he really is. I know he had success back in Utah. For some people, they feel like that's not enough, because they're like, where did he go? So ultimately, though, family,
Chris, you cut out. Chris, you cut out. Well, I mean, we'll see. Ultimately, I think you'll come back in a
are
few
you
moments.
there?
Yeah, you cut out
All
for a
right,
sec.
yeah, yeah, man. I know it. But we're getting ready to get up out of here, man. Really didn't even expect it to be this long, honestly. But I know Jack came in. Shout out to Jack Spade coming in, talking a
Hey,
little, talking a little Hawks with us. But I know he was expecting some Falcons. We definitely can get some Falcons in later, Jack, if you're up for it. But yeah, man, Atlanta Hawks, tough sled, ugly loss against the champs. And you really got a reality check. It was kind of like a measuring stick to see where you are. And I
mhm,
guess, even though we weren't healthy, I still feel like, the effort and everything like that wasn't fully there. And the guys were just deflated. They're worn down, they're tired.
mm,
And that's not an excuse, but that's just what it is. They are tired, they are beat up. The schedule isn't going into their favor, and they're still learning to win as a young team together.
yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
it's tough. But man, tell the people where they can find you at though. T Will.
Yes, sir. You can find me at One Time for the Fan on YouTube. We air our shows Wednesday nights at 9, Friday mornings at 9 p.m., Friday mornings at 9 a.m. You can also find me on the number 4, my ATL Sports 1 on YouTube, and we air shows 7 p.m. Friday, typically right after the Falcons game on Sunday. And we have a Monday morning recap that airs at 8 a.m. So, Chris, I can't do anything but thank you, brother. As always, we do podcasts, we work together. Chris is not doing your video out there and you're a content creator. I don't know what's going on, but you need to get my man Chris on your videos and your shorts and everything that you got regarding your podcast, because he's a genius. And I
Oh
and
man.
say that just because he's done so much for me. So got to give Chris his flowers. Got to let him know. Everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. Three Dirty, thank you for joining us. Robert Blackman,
Yes,
thank you for joining us. Raymond Collins, thank you
Ray
for joining us.
Collins.
Look, you could have been anywhere in the world. You decided to spend 58 minutes and 32 seconds with us, and we appreciate it. We don't take that for granted. Next, I want to thank God. I appreciate you for waking me
Yes.
up this morning, God. Thank the Lord. Thank you for everything you got going on in my life. And last but not least, hey, I got to thank Mr. Jack Spade and my brother Eric Parker for getting me in this business. So with that being said, Chris, I'm going to defer to you. Thank you for having me. And hey, man, as long as you keep inviting me, I will keep coming back, brother. I'm going to defer to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Man, again, man, I just gotta say, I'm saying glory, glory to God, man, because I'm definitely been blessing me, man. Different things, sometimes, you gotta sit back and reflect, man. When you do, I just look at where I've been just in the last year. I'm saying it's just a lot of blessings, a lot of hidden blessings, a lot of things that I don't really big myself up about. I'm trying to get better about that. What I'm saying, but definitely glory to God, man. Be My platform A1 Forever Sports is now over 3K. So just just one day at a time, man. One day at a time. But Yeah, man, I really work really hard on my channel, man, just to have different variety of stuff for people to look at because not everyone are I'm sorry, not everyone are Falcon fans, not everyone are Hawks fans. So, I try to, mix it up, but I'm still gonna be, dominant on my Atlanta material, period. But I
Gotta
still
do it.
try to have different things, for different fan bases and everything like that. Just with that may pop in my head, questions or videos and different things like that. So, just try to diversify the channel. But very, very blessed though, seriously. But check out the channel, man, A1 Forever Sports on YouTube. We be generational because it's always time to be, and we don't settle for less. You can always have more with the vision, and we always find our peace, as in positive energy, always creating elevation. Also TikTok, the real A1 Forever, on Twitter, A1 Rock or A1 Forever, and also Instagram, A1 Forever. I try to keep everything kind of like the same. Make sure you check us out, man. Me, Smitty, Berto, and Bro Talk. We're gonna be having the preview for the Falcons and the toilet bowls coming up very, very soon. And we got to take care of business. We got to keep sweeping the division. As far as Atlanta Hawks content, I'm going to continue to do Atlanta Hawks content, no matter if they're winning, no matter if they're losing. I'm still going to continue to put it out there because I am serious about my Atlanta Hawks, and I need my Atlanta Hawks faithful, my Atlanta Hawks fans to realize, like, okay, he's serious about our Hawks, and give me a shout out there. I'm thinking, why I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, well, a shout out to, of course, all my family down there at the Fox Sports crew. Those are my family down there, man. They take good care of me, and so happy to work with all those guys down there. Looking forward to continue to build relationships within these companies and gain trust. Gain more media credentials and everything like that, man. Just being involved in the world that I want to be in, which is sports. So I'm just hometown kid, man. I'm blessed to be around my hometown teams, like seriously. But yeah, man. But me and T we'll be back at you. I'm pretty sure we'll do more Hawks talk. Got the Knicks coming up on Wednesday. Stay tuned and see what happens with Trae Young and see how long he's going to be out. Hopefully not long. Please don't let it be long. But we're gonna see what happens, man. We're gonna see. But until next time, guys, for myself, Chris Tipmore, T Will, man, until next time, thank you for everybody that came through and continue to show up for us, man. And we're gonna continue to show up for you. And until next time, guys, we will holler.
A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer too.